Good morning, this is Bindu Malhotra, and today I'm going to share about past life journeying. You can see a smile on my face because I love these sessions and I love the experiences of past lives. I myself love to travel past lives, and I do a lot of work on myself, as most of the people who know me know this very well, that it's very important to keep a balance, which I have learned to have your you need to have a maintain a balance to take care of yourself first, your inner work, and then you are in a place where you can help others, because you can help from your own experiences as only. And I feel that's the best way to work from your own experience. Hey, hi there. So today I'm going to share a lot about the past life experiences. I do a lot of work. Of course, we do a lot with the past life regression, but I also do past life journeying with shamanic work and Akashic record. So what we can do is tap into the past lives, and it's a great journey always. So it's always controlled and governed by your higher self or your subconscious mind, whatever you call it. And it depends on what is the purpose of why you want to do this journey. So it is always for me, before I start with anyone, I will be asking loads of questions. I may spend an hour or hour and a half just so that I'm clear, and I'm asking these questions so that this the inner being or the subconscious is preparing the answers for me. So all my questions, it could be something very simple that I'm curious about past life and I want to experience it, and it could start from some curiosity and it can end up to a fear, it can end up to a unknown, fear of unknown, or some kind of phobia, or some kind of a different experiences that people have. So they find something like a block. They sometimes find the relationship with someone is difficult and I want to know more about it. They might find, as I have a talk with them and I ask them questions in the consultation before the session, why, if they find any patterns in their life, what is the reason. And trust me, everything we discuss before the session is what they are going to experience, because their subconscious mind is preparing. So they're preparing internally, and I know it because I'm a therapist. I know that very well. So it's preparing. So it's nothing to do with what they're saying. All the questions are there to trigger and bring that on the surface. Regressions are great because it's anything can jump out. No one can train you for a regression session. And because I have a spiritual background, I talk a lot about, I work a lot about the inner being and the journeys. And of course, I have an Indian background where past lives and everything is quite integrated in our religion, in our culture. So it's something that we talk every day, now and then. If someone is really upset or is really bitchy, and we'll say, you'll be snake last birth. So something of that sort was fun and comic jokes that we can pass off past lives. So when we are talking about past lives, not necessarily that the clients or you would be able to see your past lives. It could be your interpretation of your own subconscious mind to show you the issue. So whatever you believe in, honestly, the thing is it resolves the problem. The thing is that it solves the block, and that's the most important thing. That's why I love this work, because it serves the purpose. So whatever is the trap or whatever is the block in my life today, and I can't move forward because it just keeps repeating. I can't go in the water because I have a phobia, I have a fear, or whatever heights and whatever it is, I can clear that and I can live my life to the fullest, freedom from all those kind of blockages which are not letting me live to my fullest and have the purest joy that I want to have. Fearless life, a life full of inner peace and happiness. So for that, I love to do this kind of work. So I don't fear when if my clients are open to journey anywhere they allow their mind to. If the clients are having fears of, I don't want to go there, I don't know if I get stuck, all this kind of stuff, which you never can be, because your therapists know how to get you back. So if that is there, they block and they don't allow themselves to access. Sometimes the past lives can be quite scary. Like I had clients where they were encountering entities and that kind of stuff, and so they would be they would do the journey, even if they allow themselves, but they would be above their journey, they won't be involved in it. I would know everything because it's an interactive session. I will come to know everything, and then I will serve the purpose, clear the energy, whatever is the block, And then when they come back, they don't remember anything because they don't want to be a part of it. They want to clear it. They definitely want to help themselves, but then they don't want to be involved in it. If it's too painful for them, they would be traveling above that journey. So it depends from people to people and situation to situation what they're sharing. It usually starts with most of people as a curiosity. I want to know my past life. I want to journey it, which is a great thing because I have understood a lot about myself. Why was I seeking so many spiritual things? Why am I looking for God or such energies? Why am I inclined towards it? And when I've done my past life journeying, I have realized that I have done that before. I was looking for that particular thing which I have found in this life. Also, when I see my own patterns of being in the Indian culture and the blocks that I carried from my like how I was interacting with men in my life, or why I was giving so much importance to their decisions rather than a female's decision, or my female people in my life or families relationship in their decisions towards my life. It was not that important. I was more hurt, and I was carrying that block of more men, because as I journeyed my past life, I have seen that I had seen subconsciously men in power. So it's not something that I was integrating, but everywhere I saw the most important seats were taken away by men. No offense to any men, it's just that my subconscious was clearing it. So when I saw them sitting in the place of power, where I saw the president, the prime minister, the king, everywhere where the hierarchies are, the most important places are given to men. And even if I had female women, my mothers, my sisters, my sister-in-laws in my families, in my past lives, I was actually hurt by my brothers or my father's decisions, and I was carrying that in my current life. I was actually carrying a man because he felt comfortable in my past life till this life, and I had to make a decision to drop that heaviness that I was carrying, though it was very hurtful for me. So the journey can sometimes liberate you from the trapped subconscious programming, or subconsciously how it is integrated in the system or in my energy field. And sometimes just realizing it and seeing it is able to let go. I have realized that I mostly travel in my lucid dreaming. I travel a lot when I am in a dream state. So when I am traveling in my dream state, it's I have a lot of energies communicating with me when I'm sleeping. So the other day I got lots of plants, and there were lots of flowers in it, beautiful, colorful flowers. And I was very tired. I brought it home in the evening, so I thought in the morning I'll go out and I'll plant them in the morning, and I'll just take some rest. So I left them near the door, and in the night I couldn't sleep. 1 o'clock, I was like, who's talking? There's so much, so much energies in my head. What is happening here? And I was not sure. What did I get? Something from outside, which I usually buy everything new. I try not to get anything which has an energy, so I never go in a charity shop. So that's not me. You'll see everything in my house is new. So that's because everything carries energy, and I am very sensitive to energy. So I was like, who's just chatting? So much energy is chatting in my house. So I couldn't sleep. I had to clear the energy. I made sure everything is cleared. I did my meditation, and I fall asleep. And again, I was awake. Another 2 hour, couple of hours later, I was again awake, and I was listening to this chatter, and I was like, oh, this is killing me. So the next morning I asked my daughter, did you get anything from outside? Like when you were playing outside with your friend, did you get a wood, or would you get something from outside? She said, no, not really. And then I came down and I saw, oh my God, this plants is so many flowers. Then they were talking, and the energy was not right. Probably someone mentioned that probably the chemicals that they put in the energy that is so much preservatives and all the kind of pesticides, whatever you call it, that causes a lot of negative energy with the plant. So it has to be organic, it has to be right, the soil has to be right, the energy has to be right. So when you're getting it from a market, from a shop, you don't know what you're getting. So I planted them out, and that night I slept really well, and there was no energies. So I am very sensitive to energy. So when I'm sleeping in the night, I get a lot of lucid dreamings and I'm traveling and journeying a lot. So I had this thought about the past life, and I was actually reading something about past life, and then whatever I read before I go to sleep, of course, that is something that the subconscious is processing and triggering. So I was working with that, and that night I saw a journey of my past life, and I had this. I was really upset with my dad. I was really upset about something that he said to me, and I was questioning, why is his word so important? Why am I giving that much importance? And I could see the entire journey of my past life, and the journey of why or what he has done in my past life as my family member, as my brother actually, and then that particular decision that he made for the good of everyone was very hurtful for me, and I carried that in my this life. And that's why I always was very sensitive whenever he says something or he decides something. I'll always cross check. Is it fair? Is it right? And all that kind of things. And honestly, just after seeing that journey in the dream, I could see a lot. And the next morning, his energy changed. I didn't do anything. It was not a therapy. It was not a session. I just was able to see everything clearly. And when I woke up in the morning, the first thing happened was he called and he started is just showering me with love, like, oh my darling, I just missed you, you never call me, what's wrong with you? And I was like, what's wrong with him? Like, how is it possible that I just saw a dream, and I saw my journey? And sometimes even that is important. So just seeing the entire pattern as an observer, you are able to let go of the block sometimes, but just by observing it. For me, that was how it was. And his energy shifted completely. Now I'm going to also share with you all the experiences of my clients and how fantastic the journeys are, and how it's important to understand our patterns. Sometimes we don't understand why we are in this journey and why things are happening to us, and why am I behaving like that, or why this kind of people come to me, why am I not social or friendly, why do I close myself and people come close to me and be more friendly. So I will share with you some examples of the clients that I had and how their experiences were. So I have this one particular client, and the minute I enter in her house, I see lots of, she's Indian, but there are lots of Buddhist stuff. So there'll be Buddhist paintings. I have one, but it's more for meditation. But she'll have everything Buddhist. So her chimes, and she'll have every feng shui stuff and everything. So when people used to come into her house, they will ask, are you Buddhist? Are you converted into Buddhist or something? And she would be like, I don't know, I'm inclined towards this, and I love Buddha's images. I don't know why. So she was very curious. You do past life. Can you please take me? And I want to find this answer. So when we sat her down, and she was instantly into past life, and she journeyed she was there for 3 to 4 hours. She journeyed many lives, but one of that life was that she was a Buddhist monk. She was a small child, and she was learning the being a Buddhist monk. That was her lifestyle, and she could communicate with Buddha. So as a child, she had the psychic powers to communicate directly with Buddha, and Buddha would communicate to her. So she said, it's only I can hear him, no one else. So most of my clients would do that when they have something like that, where they encounter God, or where they had a vision of God. Their mind first takes them to the most comfortable, most beautiful lives, where they were safe, where they felt great, where it was a beautiful jungle or a beautiful place where they were encountering something very beautiful. So their mind will first take them to the most safest, most beautiful. It could be in the clouds, they're floating as an angel. So that would be the first thing that their subconscious will, or their journey will be starting from. So it makes no sense as a therapist for me, because I'm like, where's the fear, or where's the take me there? But they want to experience it first. So that would be the first experience. So and this lady also had the next question was that I am not able to be friendly with anyone. I can't make friends, and I feel so lonely because I'm only with my family, and sometimes they're busy and I cannot live my life to the fullest. I see you guys going out with friends and everyone have friends, and I don't have any friends. So I said, what's the problem there? And she mentioned there's a pattern that every time people come close to her and be really friendly, she'll push them away and she'll just say, no, that's it. And she'll stop calling them and she'll just push them away and behave in a weird way. So people stop being her friend, because then it's quite weird, you're inviting, you're welcoming, and then you say, okay, don't call me anymore. So in the past life journey, we realized that as a monk, when she was studying, she had a best friend, and the best friend was, they both were very good, and the teachers used to appreciate both. But the friend was quite jealous of his progress and how the teachers, so it was nothing to do with him, how he was behaving. It's just the friend had that attitude of jealousy. And in the past life, he actually, they both were in the cliff or top of a mountain, and where the friend pushed this lady down. So he was a boy in the past life, and he was being pushed down the cliff. And it was a break of trust, because the last thought that the soul carries is the impression that stays in your subconscious mind and will be stored in your cellular memory. So you are going to behave, and the patterns remain in this block. And now, even in this life, I asked her to recognize who this soul is, or who this person is. Can you see? And you can see any soul through their eyes. And she said that's the person, my relative, and I hate that relative. I was like, okay, now you know why. So she has trust issues then. So though it's a relative, and she has trust issues still. So when that thing was resolved, after probably a month, she moved in a new house, and she said, I had the most amazing friend circle, and it's more than my family now, and it's just, my life is full, complete. And I felt great, because that's the purpose of removing or taking people through the journey, to clear their blocks and to clear their whatever is not helping them live to the fullest. Okay, so the next journey I'll tell you about, I've just jotted a few things so I don't forget, and I can take you through. There was a lady, she had fear of anything that crawls, like snakes, even small earthworms. She'll have fear of, and she'll scream even if she sees something in the vegetables, caterpillar or something. She'll just scream to the top of her voice, and she had this panic attack instantly. And so we journeyed her in the past lives, and she realized she was a queen of. People love to be queens and kings in their past lives. Honestly, it could be the subconscious trying to make them feel good, but she was a queen in the past life, and her way of punishing in her kingdom, the way of punishing people was to throw them in a dungeon or in a well full of snakes, poisonous snakes. So as a person giving the punishment, she was terrified that how can someone, because she was a queen, she was not probably the person deciding, probably the deciding person would be the king, but just knowing that that was the punishment was quite scary for her, and she hated that energy, so that she brought it in this life. So quite a scary image that was there. There was another guy who had, not necessarily everyone would like to know about entities, but when you're working with energy, you work with every kind of energy. And as a therapist, I have to deal with anything what the clients bring on the plate. And it could be something that there's an entity that people can see. So when people talk about that kind of stuff, I'm not freaked out. I understand that they can see things. And then if there's an energy around you that you can see and scaring you, then definitely there's a karmic account with that particular energy. Not everyone wants to show themselves to you. Why would an energy wants to attack you or show themselves to you? Because there's a karmic account. So for that, in the journey in the past life, they were doing, and he's very much inclined towards British and England and London. And I was like, okay, let's see. So he was from the past life in England, and they were in a jungle, and they were actually doing that Kurana board, that kind of the board where you invite the energies, and they invited some energy which was not happy because they disturbed the energy in the jungle. And then because they were all drunk and teenagers and enjoying it, it just trapped, they called in wrong energy, and one of the guys got killed. Probably it could be a scene from the movie that was being shared, but I had to work with that, whatever comes up. And yeah, that the minute we cleared that energy and brought in the higher self and all that kind of stuff, whatever their beliefs are about God or angels or positive, that can keep them safe. So we got that all cleared. And yeah, after the session, the guy didn't remember anything about the past life or the journey. And he was like, I don't know what happened there. I just feel I just closed my eyes and I'm opening it now. So nothing was registered. It was just me who knew that. And then the energy was never around the guy. He never mentioned about that energy after that. So yeah, sometimes it could be very weird sessions that people bring up. Most of the time it's fears, phobias, relationship issues, or the same kind of repetitive patterns that people go through. Like a guy I knew very, very well, very sweet, my friend. And he would keep filling his cabinets, his press with food, just stock them. Even he has loads of houses, but even the houses which are just for guests and just for people, there'll be still plenty. And sometimes he has to just come there to see if they're expired and throw them away. And so he said, Bindu, this is what I'm doing, Bindu. Can you find the pattern? Why am I doing this? Why am I constantly feeling this is an empty house? There should be nothing in this house. Why am I feeling food even here? Like I have my house, my mother's house, my brother's house, everything filled. I go and I shop for them, and they ask me why do I do that, and so I took him to the journey of past life, and he was actually in his past life in a very bad time where there was all recession and people were actually dying due to starvation, and he was actually just 6 or 7 year old boy, and he had the wisdom of, like, I was amazed the wisdom that he had, and he was like looking at everyone and he was saying that, you know what, no one have money. If they're not giving me money in my bowl, it's not because they don't want to, it's just because they don't have it. And I was amazed with the wisdom of this child as a 6 year old, 7 year old, sitting on the roadside, really hungry, and is actually starving to death. But he has the wisdom to forgive people and say, no, they don't have it. And having that understanding. And I was amazed. And he's really an angel. Even in this life, you can meet this guy. He's an amazing guy. And and that's the weight issue. That's he's comfort eating, not just filling the cabinets, also filling the body, putting all the waste inside, just making sure everything is full. And yeah, we had that weight issues there, then comfort eating and trying to fill the body with food, and that was the pattern. So that's where the soul carries the pattern. I had a session last, I think, Wednesday. And on Wednesday, the session was about not being able to express yourself the way you want to. And in the past life journey, the client mentioned they were actually stuttering. And in one of the past life, they were not able to express themselves because every time they used to stutter, the friends used to laugh at him. And that caused him to not feel comfortable in speaking the truth. And even in this life, they said, I'm not able, something is pulling me back where I'm not able to express myself the way I am. And I have something that is pulling me back that I can't speak. And is working on the speech, is working on the singing and sound. And so that gives a complete clarity of why am I doing this? Why is a person involved in, learning to sing or learning to speak properly, pronounce things right, everything is right here. And that gives a complete clarity about how the patterns, once they are blocked somewhere, if you're not clearing it, it just has an effect in even so many births after that, you're still carrying that. And that's why it's important to realize that this work, all these experiences that I'm sharing about my clients and about myself, is so that you can see the patterns, and maybe some of the patterns will resemble. Maybe you will be able to see it in your life. You will be able to connect with it, and you will understand that, yeah, I can relate to that, and I understand now. I want to know more. I want to clear that. So there's no block that is a pattern or a fear that you can't clear honestly with a past life regression. If you are open to it, if you are curious about it, and if you really want to seek help, even if you don't believe in it, it doesn't matter, because your subconscious mind sometimes doesn't want you to see the thing the way it is. It will change it in a way that is presentable to you, and it makes sense, and I can see the problem. All right, that's the problem, and I can solve whatever it shows me as. So whatever way it interprets and brings it as a story in front of me, I know it's bringing the problem, and I know I have to change it and clear to find the solution so that this person can be free from this energy. And then we bring the clients back in and just see if they have cleared that, and if they are now able to speak their truth. They have that confidence to just stand anywhere and just say whatever they want to say, and they don't really care, because this guy also felt that people will laugh if or they won't feel good if I say something, it won't be right. So yeah, all those kind of things, and I'll check back on my client and I update you as well. So okay, another client I had, so let me check if I can remember another one. Yeah. Yeah, I had a really bad cases about the fear of cliffs, and fear of heights, and fear of being out of control, fear of unknown. That kind of fear was quite a lot that I've worked with. And that's a great journey, because then you can see that what exactly are they scared of. Most of the people, they were even scared of a horse riding, a horse somewhere. They can just feel scared of that sound. And yeah, that just shows that if they're panic attacks and they have this kind of fears and phobias which is unknown about flight, or about serious things like water, which you want to go and swim in, especially this kind of weather. You want to go and you want to enjoy your life with your friends. So how can you clear that? So most of my clients had experiences. Now this is I'll give you an overall that I've seen this as a pattern. Most of my clients, they have something where they were either fallen down the cliff, or in an unknown place or unsafe place, where someone in the back would have stabbed them, killed them. So of course, if it's your last thought before you die, if you have been killed in this kind of a place where you were scared, then definitely that's going to register and stay in your cellular memories. When I'm doing the IET, the integrated energy therapy, I talk about the auras. So the first is the physical, then it's the emotional, mental, and then the bigger one is the spiritual. So every experience that I have, every traumatic experiences that we have, especially with death, that registers as your physical. You will have the sensation. So every time people are in your back, you won't like it. People are scared of dark, because if that was a night time, that is registered that I don't like dark time. I'm scared of dark. If it was a closed place, so whenever they're in a closed place like airplanes or any kind of a lift, elevators, they don't like it. They can't be in closed places, or even cars. They can't breathe. They will feel breathless. They want to come out of it. One of my clients would do that. If she's in a car, she'll have to ask the person to stop driving. She will come out. She'll have to take, everything is open, like the windows are open. It's all subconsciously something is trapped, but she won't allow herself to travel in the past life. So it's their choice. If they allow themselves to be helped, only then we can help them by clearing it, by showing them, and then clearing it from there. So most of the clients, when they have this kind of fears, it's trapped energy that they had an experience in the past life where it was very traumatic, and they had to leave. They were actually leaving their body in that experience. So it was their death, or it could be fear of unknown, fear of something bad around them. It could be horses, someone actually riding a horse who actually did that, and that's why the sound of horses can be very scary for them. So it just registers, though I don't understand it in this life, why I'm doing this, why I'm having that, but it is something registered in the subconscious. As a soul, as a being, we recognize even the soul. So if I see someone and I'm really scared, or I don't feel good around them, it's because there's some kind of past life karmic account, which was not a very healthy exchange of energy. That's why I don't, though they are in my relation, they are my relatives, my friends, but I don't like that energy. I have to keep myself safe around them. So that's all karmic So the minute you look in their eyes, you actually recognize the souls, though you don't remember it because it's not on the surface, but somewhere you know it. So I would suggest trust your gut, trust your intuition. If you feel that you're not feeling good around someone, it's okay. It's just people, and you can always have more friends. Maintain some distance if you feel like, unless and until you clear that. I had a client who actually had this kind of feeling with her son. Now, this is a relationship that you can't avoid, and she had this tremendous pain, she used to say. Though she came for fears, she was abandoned, there was a lot to work on this life as well. So there was a lot of patterns from this life that we had to work on. So it took us 3-4 sessions, and after that she said, you know what, now I want to work with this pain because this pain is killing me. And she said, the minute I was pregnant, I had this enormous pain, which is just, it's a scale of 0 to 10. It's usually 9.5. It's that intense, but I've learned to live with it because doctors can't help it. So this lady just told me that she wants to get rid of this pain. She at the end, she gave the time for this past life. And so she said it started when she was pregnant, and since then it has never left her. So I had to take her to the journey in the past, and it always stayed in the womb and her vagina. She always had this pain, immense pain. So now when we journeyed the past lives, we realized that she was in a trapped place where a guy was actually raping her. And when she looked in the energy, it was actually the son, her son in this life, which was quite weird to even know it as a therapist. Like, wow, this is making a lot of sense the minute that soul entered her womb. And the guy, the son was the same energy. He used to hit her, abuse her, not in a sexual, but of course physical and verbal way. And she wanted to love the child a lot, but she was not able to because he was very abusive. And she constantly had this question since day one: why I'm not able to gel with him? Why? How can I help him? What can I do? Because as a mother, you want to do that. So it was her to stand up for herself here, and then probably she found the courage to actually get protection against him, which is quite sad story. But when she was able to see the entire journey, the pain disappeared since the minute she came out of that hypnosis. She said there's no pain, and that was amazing. That she said this pain did last for next like 20 years, I think, and it never went away. 9.5, that was the intensity of the pain, and it just disappeared after one session. And then she found that courage that she needed to do to stand up for herself and not allow herself to be abused, which was enormous power, I feel. So yeah, that's so sometimes when a relationship are really close, it's hard because as a therapist we can't say anything, and we can just work with what comes up and just help our clients to find that courage, find that strength, find that inner clarity, so that once their energy is clear, they can do what they would naturally do, what their intuition naturally tells, what's the inner power usually is. So that's what I work with. Also, I can see if I have other things for you to share. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I covered almost everything that I had for you, a lot of journeying, and I'm just making sure because I've jotted it down so I don't forget the lovely journeys. There's so many clients that I had, and they were all lovely journeys. Yeah, so they are all fantastic journeys. So if you feel you would like to travel through Akashic records, or you want to tap into your shamanic, accessing your past lives, or you want to just with curiosity, if you really genuinely feel there's something that is not letting you live your soul purpose, your life to the fullest, and something is that you want to clear, like you're meeting the same kind of people, the same kind of energies, you're just feeling lonely, you're not shifting your energy, or you're not shifting the situation that you're in. It's all your vibrations, it's your frequency where you are. So you need to lift it. To lift your energy, hypnosis works great. When you're working with energy work, like I give attunements to people, I don't tell them just come to me, take a healing. Of course, I'm a healer. People sometimes want a relaxing session, so they come here for an hour, and I just make sure their chakras are balanced, energies that they want to clear on the surface, the burning issues are cleared, whichever they are ready to clear. And I suggest people to take attunements, and not every attunement, but I usually work with Kundalini Reiki, integrated energy therapy. They're all different energies, sunlight, full spectrum, they're different energies, but they're absolutely fantastic energies. So when you integrate that energy, it's not a meditation, it's not something that you have to do, sit, no, it's something that is gifted. So I can pass it on. So when I pass that on, it's integrated inside your chakras, inside your heart center. And then it starts to expand. It comes out of your palm chakras, which is the secondary chakras, and it actually shifts your energy. It clears a lot of blocks that you're carrying. It raises your vibration to the next level. It actually helps you in clearing whatever frequency you're working right now. You're attracting the same kind of people in your life. If you want to attract the right kind of people, if you feel that this is not my frequency, I want to raise my vibration, the minute you take attunements, you lift your energy to the next level. And then sometimes you're feeling that the people who were around you, the circle changes. People sometimes go away and new people come in, because this is a different frequency. You're inviting the right kind of people now, and the right kind of energy comes in, the right kind of situations are starting to happen. You're having a different kind of opportunities in your lives, different kind of roles that you're playing, and this is how you're shifting your energy. So the more you lift your vibration to the next level, you'll meet different kind of people, different kind of energies. So when you start to understand the energy work, you'll be more sensitive to understand who's this frequency and you will easily know how to repel, or just the negatives can't stay in your energy, because your energy is very powerful, white light, and so the negatives can't stick around you a lot. So if you find yourself in people or in situations which are not very healthy for you and it's draining you a lot, then you need to shift your energy, take attunements, do the healing work. Not all healing work is what I recommend. Not everything is the right attunement. Not every person who is giving you an attunement knows what they're passing. Just because I have passed on the attunement to someone, not necessarily their vessel is clear. So this body has to be clear as well. The mind has to be clear. Are they mindful? Are they working on their diet? Are they paying attention to their meditation and their inner work? What kind of quality of soul they are themselves? So you need to really do a little bit of research about them as a person, them as a personality, from before you take anything, because you're opening your energy. You are opening yourself to receive something from someone else, and they can actually disturb it completely. Yeah, they can actually mess it up. So you don't want it messed up. They can actually block your consciousness. So you don't want that kind of stuff. Yeah. So you have to be careful before you take any attunement from any person, or you open your aura for someone to read it and to be a part of it. I've done that kind of work where people can merge each other's auras, and I hate that work. I can't do that. When I'm doing my healing session, it's my energy, the energies that I know very well is safe, it's clear, and I know what I'm working with, so I know exactly what they're getting. But when you are working with just anyone, you have to be very intuitive to sense their energy and to connect. If you feel a connection, if you feel a pull towards them, if you feel, yes, that's the person I want, don't worry about the money, because the money will come back to you. Whatever the course price is, I never pay attention to the cost of the course. If I feel this person is what I want to work with, I have to take this course from, then I won't pay attention to the money, because automatically it's an energy. What you have spent will come back. So what I have invested in my healing courses, it has come multifold. It is not that it's going to be there and you've spent that. Of course, it will come back to you. You start taking healing sessions to your friends and family. Of course, you'll start getting paid, because it's a beautiful healing energy work. So nothing gets stuck. It's the energy constantly keep flowing. So, but you need to be very careful and sensitive when you're taking and trying to lift your energy. Also, past life regressions or anything of that sort. I have heard so many cases, so many clients come to me where they say, I was in this particular kind of group and we were all asked to travel in the past life, and I was able to see what happened in my past life. And there was one of my relative, and she actually murdered me in past life. And that was it. I still feel horrible about her. I still feel bad that she is in my life. and this person is actually feeling miserable. Before the session she was fine and after the session she's terrible. Can you imagine that kind of work where you're feeling more bad after the session? My work is where I see something, I make sure the client has cleared it completely, and I have found a solution where they feel, yes, that's resolved. That feeling of hurt or that feeling of I've given that person, empowered them, or they betrayed me, or they broke my trust, it's all gone. They got their trust back. They have come to the light again. And only then, when I cross check and make sure that they are empowered, they are fully back in their power, they can trust, they know how to sense and repel people which is not in their energy, all this kind of work. When I make sure it's forgive, forget, move on, and everything is clear there, only then I bring that person back here where they can feel, yes, this person is in my life, I've forgiven this person from the past life, or whatever they have wanted to do in their journey. It's not something that I decide, it's something that their subconscious or their soul decides. So whatever is the solution, unless and until that is clear, so be careful before you do any kind of such journeying. Oh, it's great, it's curious. Don't just start such journeying, because you need to know what you're inviting, and not everyone takes you through the right journey. So make sure you take it from a right person who knows the work. If they are spiritual, that's great, because most of people I know are they're all therapists. They all know the work with, they're not having the beliefs of past lives. They're not having the beliefs of soul journey. They don't understand soul itself or the energy work. And as a regression, it's a clinical or a therapy, and not necessarily they're going to give you the tools or techniques to resolve it from a spiritual, because it's not just a journey, it's a mind, body, soul. It has an effect on all three levels or all three layers. So when you're clearing something there, you are having an effect on your cells, on your DNA, on your skin, on your body and your mind, how you communicate, how you now invite the energies. It has an effect everywhere. It's not just one journey. Even in the weight loss programs, then I'm not just working on the weight. I'm working with the entire patterns of this person. It could be their mental blocks, it could be their spiritual blocks. I have to work and clear everything so that this person is feeling good, having a very positive inner chatter, talking to the higher self, and feeling completely in power. I can just do that. That's not nothing. If I can do that, if I would have done it once in my past life, I could have done it anytime. So it's me coming back in my full power, coming back in my full strength, that there's nothing that I put my mind to and I can't do it then. So bringing people to that place is important. So if you're doing that journeying, it's great journeying, because that will help you immensely. And it's a great journey. I love my journeys. I cherish them. I'm not a person that I would share my journeys with everyone. I'm quite a, though I love to share it a lot about what I'm doing, but I don't share a lot about my feelings and my personal journeys. But yeah, today I thought I'll share about my journeys, about my experiences, how fantastic it is. I love this work. And if you're interested, if you know anyone who's interested and who'd like to do a past life journeying, I am more than happy to help you guys. So yeah, you're more than welcome to just send me a message, and I'll be happy to book you in for a past life regression session, or a shamanic journeying, or Akashic records, whatever you want to experience. So yeah, I trim it in my own way. I make it as my clients want. So if my clients like shamanic journey, I'll bring them to the drumming and everything and beautiful journey, and that's how I bring them into trance. Sometimes they like a very clinical approach, and I'll take them through the past life regression session. So every session is great. All right, so a little bit information about what I'm doing next weekend. I'm doing a beautiful course which I've created on mindfulness, and if you are interested in knowing a little bit more about, I have researched a lot about mind, because that's my work, mental health, mind, and it's tools that I give people how to keep their mental health great and understand their inner. This will help them as this will integrate in their subconscious. It's not something that you're listening and then you have to work on. It's something that integrates. The minute you have taken the beginner's level course, it integrates in your system, and even if you don't want to, you are paying attention to that. And it's a lovely way of bringing you into the process of mindfulness as a natural person, natural way of being mindful in day-to-day basis. There's a lot of tools and tricks. Of course, there's a lot available in the market as well. But I'll be bringing in everything for you. So when I'm offering you anything, I try my best to do the research so you get everything that is available out there and everything that I have experienced, and I know it works for me for sure. And it has worked for all my clients. So I know what is tried, tested, and of course what is available in the market. So you get the best of everything. You get the best of every kind of information for you to start something. So if you're coming for Kundalini Reiki with me, you will learn a lot about Kundalini as well. Though it's Kundalini Reiki has nothing to do with Kundalini, but I will teach all my clients about Kriyas, and I'll teach them about the basics of all the books they can read, the different kind of Kundalini work, and everything that they should know about Kundalini if they're interested in that. So that's me, that's how I work, and that's how I'll bring them to the chants and the sound vibrations and everything that is important for their Kundalini to awaken. So that's how I work, and that's why when I'm doing mindfulness as well, I'm bringing a lot of meditation, visualization, everything that I can think of that is going to help them to integrate this mindfulness in their life. So that's for the next weekend. We have early bird price going on. You can find it just in my page, in my profile page, and you can click. So you're more than welcome to join me for that. If you feel someone will be benefited with that, and it's going to be helpful for them. It's also for children. Anyone can join. Teenagers can join. So if you feel someone can be benefited with this, you can pass this on to them. I wish you all have a lovely day, because it's bright and sunny again here. Though it was snow yesterday, it was snowing, and it was beautiful to see that as well, because all the weather is beautiful. Ireland is beautiful. I love the weather here, and all the elements are a gift, and I feel gratitude for everything that comes here in this life. In front of my eyes, everything is beautiful. So enjoy the sunshine wherever you are, in whatever part of the world you are, and I wish you a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me today. And if you're watching the recap, thank you so much for watching the recap. So I'm wishing you all lots of love and light. Bye.